Number 4. Immigration, welcoming newcomers. Over the past 4 years, President Trump issued more than 400 executive actions related to immigration policy. The result is that Americans' immigration system has been substantially overhauled to make it harder for all kinds of immigrants to come to the U.S. Biden has vowed to reverse many of the most restrictive immigration actions taken by the Trump administration. Biden sees immigrants as a fundamental part of the American identity. He's pledged to abandon Trump's travel ban on people from 13 Muslim-majority countries. He says he plans to reinstate the DACA program, which allows young people who are brought illegally to the U.S. as children to remain and work legally. Biden has promised to increase the number of refugees that the U.S. will accept. He will also stop construction of the wall along the U.S.-Mexican border. Like many moderates on both sides of the aisle, Biden has long favored a large-scale immigration reform to address the many problems that plague this system. But support in Congress for broad reform is unlikely. However, immigration experts say there's a lot Biden can do by executive order. Trump was the first modern president to view both illegal and legal immigration as a threat to the U.S. economy and to U.S. security, says Sarah Pierce of the Migration Policy Institute. Restoring the U.S. reputation as a welcoming place will be really important under the Biden administration. Number 5. Racial justice, a promise to address racism in America. The police killing of George Floyd and other Black Americans sparked widespread outrage. The unrest catapulted the issue of racial injustice into the national spotlight. Biden has acknowledged the racism that Black Americans continue to face on a daily basis. He also pledged to include the push for racial justice into all parts of his economic agenda. If you say we have no need to face racial injustice in this country, you haven't opened your eyes to the truth in America, Biden said in October. Most Americans supported the racial injustice protests over the summer, according to polls, but those protests also led to some backlash and debate. Among them is a battle over police reform and how far it should go. Biden has solid support among Black voters. In fact, 87% voted for him, according to exit polls. That helped the former vice president win the White House. Now, many voters, both Black and white, expect him to follow through on promises to address their concerns over racism in America. Biden has laid out plans for closing the racial wealth gap, making it easier for African Americans to buy a home, and helping minority-owned businesses. Biden's running mate, Kamala Harris, will be the first woman, the first Black American, and the first Asian American to serve as vice president. She has also stressed the importance of these issues. James Savage, a 19-year-old Black man from Philadelphia, hopes that a Biden-Harris administration will make a difference in his life. I feel as though, Savage says, that he really is going to try to help us more now. Number 6. Foreign policy, an end to America first. Biden has made clear that he intends to end the Trump policy of America first. Instead, he'll return the U.S. to a more traditional international approach of collaborating with its longtime allies. America First has made America alone, Biden said in October. The Biden administration plans to renew U.S. commitments to NATO, the 30-country alliance that helped keep the peace during the Cold War. It also intends to work closely with nations such as France, Germany, and Canada. That move will reset relations that were strained under Trump. Biden intends to treat America's foes very differently than his predecessor did as well. He hopes to revive the 2015 Iran nuclear deal that Trump pulled the U.S. out of in 2018. But he'll only do so if Iran agrees to once again follow its terms. The U.S. relationship with China is more tense now than it's been in a long time. China has the world's second largest economy, and Biden will need to find a way to work with the Chinese government on trade and issues. That will include addressing the nuclear threat from North Korea. The possibility of nuclear war remains despite President Trump's effort to reach a deal with North Korea's dictator, Kim Jong-un. Many foreign policy experts worry about America's withdrawal in the past few years from its traditional global leadership role. They feel that it's left a power vacuum and raised concerns among other nations about America's reliability. You'll see a style of foreign policy that is more cooperative and less go for it alone, Richard Haass, president of the Council on Foreign Relations, predicts about the Biden administration. Haass adds that one of the biggest changes we can expect is the attitude of the U.S. towards the rest of the world. That's especially important as nations confront a global pandemic and an economic crisis. Leadership is about persuasion, Haass says, so tone matters because we want to persuade others to work with us.